If you enjoy our podcast, please like and subscribe and consider becoming a digital subscriber to the Albuquerque Journal to help us bring you more content like this. You can find this episode and all of our podcasts on the Albuquerque Journal website, abqjournal.com, as well as YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify. See the show notes for a discount code on a digital subscription. Thank you for supporting the Albuquerque Journal, New Mexico's leading news.
Hey there, everyone. Welcome back. It's been a while since we have sat together. My name is James Yodice. I am the high school sports editor at the Albuquerque Journal. Welcome to Preps Central, our high school podcast. First things first, we have not been here in studio since, I think, after the state basketball tournament. My apologies for that. I had some health and voice issues for several months that just really made it impossible for me to do a full podcast. So I've been meaning to get back in, and now that football season is going, we're going to get back to our regular weekly podcast. We're already into week 4 of the high school football season. We're going to talk, of course, about some of the key matchups this week. We've got a couple of huge ones here just in the metro area, and I've got a guest lined up, and we'll introduce him in just a little bit. So first and foremost, we're at that point of the season where a couple of the larger districts in the state, the larger football districts, are into league play starting this week, like District 2-5A. You've got like Roswell playing Lovington this week, Artesia playing Deming. Artesia and Roswell still ranked 1 and 2 by the 5A coaches and by the Max Preps poll, I believe, as well. Roswell coming off a couple of losses, actually, one to Alamogordo and one last week to Hobbs. Artesia came off a loss last week as well. They lost a really thrilling 42-38 game to Centennial. So that district, the Southern District, still very dominant. So they're going to start league play this week because they have so many teams, because they have 8 teams. The Metro District, the largest of the 3 Class 6A districts, which would be District 2, they are also beginning league play this week. La Cueva is playing Sandia on Friday, and there's a key game in Los Lunas on Friday night at 6 o'clock. El Dorado is playing Los Lunas. Hard to say about La Cueva and what they might be over the last 2/3 of the season. They lost a tough opener to Volcano Vista by a point, and they got beat up really good by Pinnacle out of Phoenix. So La Cueva's had a tough schedule to open the year. I think they're going to be okay. But they're playing a rival in Sandia, and of course, I think La Cueva, El Dorado, Los Lunas. These are still the 3 best teams in that district. Los Lunas started 0-2 as well. They lost a game to Roswell High on the road, and then they got beat up pretty good up here by Cleveland. So that district's getting going. The other 2 6A districts are not starting yet until next week because they have fewer teams. And the other 5A district is also getting going with district play this week. We have games like Valley against Belen. Belen coming off a tremendous come-from-behind win over Valencia last week, which they won in the last minute, 28-27. Los Alamos is down here in Albuquerque to play Highland. Los Alamos still clearly the favorite in District 1 5A, just as they were last year. So we're getting into league play for the larger districts. We'll get into league play for some of the smaller ones as we go forward over the next week or two. I wanted to offer a couple of observations so far. So we're 3 games in. As I sit here, it's Wednesday afternoon, September 10th, as I sit here in our studio. So if we're thinking about 6A football, Cleveland has already beaten Centennial on the road. It was 55-42, and they've beaten Los Lunas, and they really beat up on Clovis. So Cleveland's got a really good win in there against Centennial. And then you have Las Cruces, which is ranked number 2. Cleveland's ranked number 1, and then you have Las Cruces, which beat up on Mayfield in the opener, and then they've beaten 2 top 5 ranked teams in the last 2 weeks, Volcano Vista and then Rio Rancho last week. I was down at the Field of Dreams for the Rio Rancho Cruces game last week, and in fact, our guest comes from the Las Cruces Bulldogs. I'll introduce him here just in a couple of minutes. Cleveland, I'm not sure where they're at yet. We'll know more. Cleveland plays Cruces on Friday night up in Rio Rancho. We'll know more then. But Cleveland's Evan Nanez, a sophomore, a great dual sport athlete. He's probably even more accomplished in basketball than he is in football. He has proven to be a really versatile weapon, both in the run game but more so in the pass game. And Jordan Hatch, the Cleveland quarterback, the big 6'4" kid, Cleveland's polished, very, very accomplished senior quarterback, is doing a good job distributing the ball and getting it into Nanez's hands. He has been tremendous for Cleveland so far in these first 3 games. The defense, a little hit and miss. Centennial hit him up quite a bit. That was an early season Saturday afternoon game. And I think the temperatures took a bit of a toll on Cleveland in the second half. It was a hot day down there. They did a much better job against Las Lunas, only gave up a field goal, and then they shut out Clovis last week, basically in a game that ended at halftime. So Cleveland's had plenty of rest coming into this Cruces game. Beyond those two, it's hard to say who's going to challenge. Centennial is up here this week to play Rio Rancho on Friday night. Very big game. Rio Rancho wants to rebound a bit from their loss to Las Cruces the other day. Centennial, as I noted, they've got a loss to Cleveland. They came back. They won on the road at Bulldog Bowl in Artesia last week, and Artesia is still as good, if not better, than most 6A schools. So Centennial's coming off a really good road victory, and now Centennial's back on the road here in Rio Rancho on Friday. So that is a tremendous matchup as well. We already talked about the District 2 6A matchups. The Centennial-Rio Rancho game, not a district game, but two teams that have aspirations of being minimum in the top 8, for a playoff seed, a home game in the first round, and possibly maybe even a top 4 seed. The winner of this game will have a huge leg up as that goes. So we're going to see how that pans out on Friday. I wish I could be at both games. I'll be at the Las Cruces Cleveland game. So we've got a lot of fun stuff happening. As we think about 5A, we talked about that. I don't think we have a clear number 1 as yet. I think Artesia is ranked number 1. We don't have a clear number 1. Roswell's retooling quite a bit with a lot of new faces, and that shows a bit. Artesia, which has been led by Bryce Parra, a great running back. He is having just a killer early season showing. He has been fantastic for the Bulldogs. They're going along very nicely as well. But we'll see. Now that we're in the district play, we'll find out about teams like Deming and Lovington and Gadsden. Gadsden plays Mayfield in a district opener this week. So we're going to find out about a little bit more about some of these teams that are chasing Artesia and Roswell in that district. So I wanted to circle back to Las Cruces and Cleveland. This is number 1 against number 2. You don't get these kind of games in the regular season all that often. So we're really fortunate to have these two playing in week 4, which is kind of nice because they've both had several games to get ready now for Friday night. You wouldn't want to see a game like this in the opener. Now that they've had several games, this is exactly when you'd want to see it. Cruces will be jumping into their district schedule after this game. So what we have in this game are what have been, I think, is fair to say, the 2 best offensive weapons in 6A football. And that would be Danny Amaro from Las Cruces High School, who has 13 touchdowns already in 3 games, 10 rushing, 3 receiving, and Evan Nanez, who we just talked about. So those two are clashing. We've got so much on the line. This is a big game psychologically, I think, for Cruces. Even if they don't win, this game is important for Cruces to show well, to show that if they somehow should meet down the road in November in the playoffs, you won't know what to get. So I'm truly interested to get to Friday night and see what we have. I think Cleveland probably has the more diverse offensive unit, but we're going to see how this Cleveland defense shapes up against this Las Cruces offense with Danny Amaro, quarterback Gunnar Guardiola. They've got a really good receiver named Francisco Winnikoff. This is a good group. They are motivated. Cruces hasn't won a state championship, I think, since 2013, if memory serves. So it's been a while since Las Cruces has been playing in the last game of the year. They very much want to get back to that point, and they've got a team they feel like that can do that. So as we set the stage for that, we want to move on to an interview I did with Danny Amaro from Las Cruces High. He was nice enough to join me earlier today, and we had a nice visit. So why don't you take a listen? Hey, everyone. Welcome back to Prep Central. I'm James Yodice, the high school sports editor with the Albuquerque Journal. It's been a few months since I've joined you. I haven't seen you all since after state basketball back in March. I had a little bit of a a voice issue that I had to deal with. So this is my first time back in the studio in a few months, but it's good to be back. And we're going to jump right into a whole lot of football this week. We are expanding our format a bit, and we are going to start bringing in more guests. That was my intention for the last year or two, and I'm glad to say we're finally able to do that. And so we're going to bring in a guest today. His name is Danny Amaro. He's the star running back from Las Cruces High School. Danny, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Thank you for taking a few minutes to join me. Danny and Las Cruces are coming up here to the metro area on Friday night to play Cleveland. Las Cruces ranked number 2, Cleveland ranked number 1. So you don't get these 1 versus 2 matchups in a regular season environment all that often. So all of us, I think, are really excited for this game on Friday night. And Danny, why don't we start there? Has this week so far, as you and I talk, it's Wednesday morning. So far this week, has practice been any different, any more intense than a normal week, given the stakes of this game?
I mean, there's really no looking like into who we're playing. Like, yeah, we're playing the one seed, so we kind of take it with a little bit of more like grit, but we don't really take the week differently. Like, we stay true to ourselves. We stay with our process, and we don't really let ourselves let the moment get too big. So we definitely try to stay with him for each other, definitely.
So, look, we're into Wednesday, which means you guys have had a chance already to see plenty of film on Cleveland. Just give me your impression of what you've seen, starting with the Cleveland defense, which is the one that's going to be trying to slow you down on Friday. What do you see from this Cleveland defense that impresses you, or something you feel like you guys are going to have to do well to have success on Friday?
They're definitely a physical, tough team, and we're definitely going to have to be on our A game to come out with a W this Friday night. And I mean, they're gonna come out with fight. We're gonna come out with fight. We're really not too worried about what they're gonna do. Knowing that my team got my back is probably the biggest kind of pat on the back that I can have right now. Is like that they got my back, I got their back, and my coaches definitely too. So we kind of just take it with a little bit more of kind of they're ranked above us, so let's go show what the South's about.
So, as I noted, look, this is number 1 versus number 2. It's hard not to get excited about this, maybe for people like me who are in the media. But I got to think you guys are certainly excited to get up here, and you just touched on this, about coming up here to play a team that's the only team that's ranked ahead of you.
Yes, sir. It's definitely taking it with a little bit of more passion and like a little bit more kind of grit this week. Like, it's going to be a gritty game. It's going to be a tough game, and we definitely have to come out with our process to the highest level. And knowing that my team's been working all week for that, I'm definitely excited to go out and play on Friday night.
So I think all of us up here, and probably I think most people that follow 6A football around the state, looked at this Las Cruces team and felt like, look, this team is going to be a legitimate contender for a state championship come November. Whatever happens on Friday night, whether Cleveland wins or whether you win, look, both of these teams are going to have a great shot to win state in November, however this plays out. So take me through this offseason, because, look, the expectations are high. They're always high at Las Cruces High School, but it's been over a decade now since Las Cruces won a state title, which is a long time for that particular program. So take me through this offseason and how this group approached not just the offseason, but this regular season, and how much you can achieve.
Yes, sir. I mean, me and my team this past offseason definitely took a step back and kind of just realized what we had. We have a special group, and we know that. And with the leadership we have on this team is outstanding. So it helps our team kind of come together. And then the coaches we have are second to none. Like, they prepare us in a way that we have tools for everything. We have tools in life. We have tools on the field. We have pretty much a whole, like, what we're well rounded on like human beings. We're not just football players. We come out, and that's a big thing we had this off season was kind of just being better people off the football field, like keeping our grades up, going to class, and um, we have this thing that's being an and, not a but. So when someone talks about you, you want to be an and, not a but. Because if you're a but, then someone's talking about you, and then they say, but he's a turd off the field, like, and then,
Yeah.
but if you want to be talked about, well, it's, and he's a great person in class. He's a great person off the field. So we definitely took that with a lot of pride and became better people all around, not just on the football field.
Do you get a sense that the entire Las Cruces high school football community, not just the players, not just the coaches, but the program and the community in general, are super hungry to get back on top in 6A football?
Yes, sir. I mean, this community is definitely hungry for another state championship down here. It hasn't happened in a while. We're definitely looking to change that.
So you and I were talking the other night after your game against Rio Rancho, and I wanted to touch on this a little bit here. Obviously, you're off to a fantastic start individually, obviously, with 13 scores, 10 rushing, 3 receiving. You're already well over 500 yards rushing just in these 3 games. And 2 of these 3 games are against teams that are ranked in the top 5 in the state, Volcano and Rio Rancho. And now you come up here and play Cleveland. Let's talk about your start and what you attribute it to.
I mean, this schedule is nothing to play with. We have 3 really big games off the rip on non-district, and we just feel like we have to take every week by like just kind of having that sense of urgency that we can be beat, but when we come out on Friday nights that we won't be beat. And I mean, definitely I've had 3 really good games, and I give all praise to my O-line. They give me the space to go and run and go make people miss, and that's what I'm good at. And I mean, my coaches work countless hours on making sure that we can't be stopped in our run and pass game, because we definitely have an explosive game or explosive offense through pass and through the through running. So
Right.
we try to just kind of take it week by week and have that sense of urgency that we won't be stopped.
So, look, I already know the answer to this a little bit, but I want you to share with people that are watching other weapons in this offense besides yourself. Like, you know, we've talked about, you're off to a tremendous start, but there are several other guys on this offense who can get it done, who can stretch the field, who can make plays. Why don't you tell us about some of these guys and what they bring to the table?
Yes, sir. Definitely Gunnar Guardiola, our quarterback. He's a mastermind on the field. He picks apart defense, and that's what he does. He prepares like no other. He knows the defense like no other. There's times where I'm right next to him, and he just like, okay, this guy's going to do that. And he does that. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, how did you know that? And it just kind of gives the whole offense like a deep breath, because our quarterback is doing that. So we all have to hop on his train and do that. And for receivers, we definitely have Francisco Winikoff. He makes great plays. He blocks down the field well for me. I mean, some of the touchdowns I have wouldn't be sprung without him blocking down the field, without all my receivers. Jacob Misquez, Isaiah Burunda, and Aaron Carrasco are all great receivers, and they all are selfless and don't just think about when am I getting the ball. I'll try when I get the ball. Like they're hogs down the field, so it makes it easy for me to go and just run. And then our tight end Diego Lopez is he's a man in the box. He can block very well. He can catch passes. He's a well-rounded tight end, and we take a lot of pride in that, because it's big for us to have a tight end that could do all that.
So the other night I was interviewing Gunnar, and I asked him directly about you, and I set him up. I said, look, just tell me about Danny and what he is doing for this offense right now. And Gunnar kind of smiled, and he said, look, and I don't remember the exact quote, but the gist of it was, this is the best running back in the state, hands down. I will argue with anyone all week about this. Do you feel like you're the best running back out there?
I like to think so. I like to not try to think about that. I like to just keep my mind straight and not let all that noise get into my head, because I know I could get complacent and come out this next week and not perform as well. So I like to think as they're the better team. So we got to go beat them. So I don't really like to think about the individual part of it. It takes a whole team to win a game. So I mean, I really can't do it without my team. So
Right.
I really don't like to think about all that.
Something else you and I talked about briefly at the Field of Dreams the other night was Evan Nanez from Cleveland, somebody that you briefly went to school with, which I did not know actually until about a week ago, right before I went down for your game last week. And the two of you were classmates briefly when you were much younger. But I had asked you if you had been following Evan's progress and what he's been doing. And now you've actually seen some game film on him. Tell me what impresses you about Evan and the way he performs both in the pass game as you do and running the ball. He's not a pure running back like you are, but Cleveland will hand him the ball, like in a jet sweep situation or something like that. So as you watch Evan, what impresses you about him? Because you and he have been, I think, by far the two most important football players on the offensive side in 6A football so far this season.
He's definitely a great athlete. I mean, we watched his film, and he's a good receiver. And coming into this week, we've known that, and I think just preparing for him has been like just kind of different. Like our Isaac Gomez and Mateo Montoya are ready for the challenge that they're gonna have this week. And that our whole DB group is ready for the challenge because they have another good receiver, Jacob Maldonado. So they have some tools, but I definitely trust my guys in what they're preparing for and how they're preparing this week.
So briefly, I want to talk about your future beyond this season. I noticed on Friday, which was the day after you played Rio Rancho, that Eastern New Mexico had extended you a scholarship offer. And I'm sure this is just the first of many, or one of many that you're going to get. Tell me what that meant to you.
It was definitely kind of just like put my head down and work even harder, because right now I have 3 offers to Sterling, Highlands, and Eastern. So definitely this year has been a lot more recruitment than last year. So I just like to keep my head down, and knowing that I have a future outside of high school football is amazing. Not a lot of people get that chance, and I'm definitely blessed to have that opportunity to go play college football.
So that's something you very much want to do at the next level.
Definitely. Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, Danny, I'm going to cut you loose. I appreciate you taking a few minutes to visit with me. We're all excited up here to get out to Cleveland on Friday night and watch this game. This should be a heck of a lot of fun, and I'm sure the guys are going to have fun with it too. So it's good to chat with you. Thank you for joining me, and I will see you at Cleveland on Friday night.
Yes, sir. Thank you guys for having me.
You bet. Okay, that was our interview with Danny Amaro. I thank him very much for taking time during his school day to visit with me. And I should tell you, this is something I am planning to do more of in the weeks ahead during the football season, which is have guests on remotely from all over the state, I hope. And I think everybody will get more out of that than listening to me drone on for half an hour. So I'll be promoting this kind of thing as we go forward. But I hope to have many other of the state's top players and some of the top headlining coaches on this podcast as we go forward the rest of the season and through the playoffs in November. So anyway, week 4 is getting started on Thursday night. I should mention, too, 2 of the best defensive players in the state are also meeting this week, in addition to Evan Nanez and Danny Amaro in their game. Colton McKibben, the junior linebacker from Carlsbad. The Cavemen are up here on Thursday night at Community Stadium against Cibola. Hayes Baum is already a UNM football commit at linebacker. He's been killing it playing quarterback this year as well. McKibben is a linebacker. He's got about 15 Division I offers, and all of them are from notable schools. So you've got arguably the state's 2 best offensive players in one game on Friday night and the state's 2 best defensive players playing Thursday night at a community stadium. So it's rare we get that kind of star power, both in terms of teams and individuals coming together. So Yeah, so week 4 schedule starts on Thursday. I will be doing games out at Community Stadium on Thursday, the Carlsbad Cibola game. I will be at Las Cruces and Cleveland on Friday night, and I believe I'll be in Santa Fe on Saturday for St. Michael's, undefeated St. Mike's with the state's longest winning streak, which is about 2 years old now, playing Albuquerque Academy. And then also we have the Albuquerque Metro Volleyball Championships coming up this weekend as well. So thanks for joining us. Again, it's good to visit with you all. I'll look forward to more fun guests going forward, and we'll talk a lot of football. So enjoy the action this weekend. Thanks for watching Preps Central, and we will see you soon.